name is Dre, and I am here with Jemel McWilliams, and
What's up?
And this is PopEd Dialogues. What do? You have many titles, but give us the top things that you are at the moment.
I love that at the moment.
Yeah.
At the moment, because I consider myself, I call myself a journeyman. I'm ever evolving, and so yeah. But at the moment, I'm dibbling and dabbling in creative direction, artistic direction, choreography. I'm a director as well for music videos and online content, and then I'm also an actor.
Fabulous. So flex time. Who have you worked with?
I get it. It's a praise report, it's a praise story, but sometimes I feel like it's bragging, but not to brag. But no, I've had the pleasure to work with Alicia Keys, John Legend, Janelle Monáe, ex-ambassadors, Magic. I kind of can name a bunch of different people. Beyonce, Jill Scott, Estelle, Ryan Whitney, because those are my brothers and sisters. You might not know them, but you should know them because they're amazing. Mademoiselle, she's amazing as well. Jade Nova, she's blowing up right now. So a bunch of different people.
That's amazing. Take us to the beginning. So I know a lot of us, we grow up and we know we love this, right? We love to sing, we love to dance, we love movies, we love to write, whatever it is. We know we have something that we love. What was the moment you decided that this is what you loved, like creating the arts was a passion of yours?
You know what? Funny enough, I didn't necessarily say this is what I love. It's probably like good and bad. I kind of just live my life. So, sometimes I should probably organize a little bit better. But for the most part, I just kind of go with the flow and what my spirit is saying. So when I actually got discovered was at a stoplight. So I'm crazy, just try to follow. But I got discovered at a stoplight. This talent agent was behind my mom, and Michael Jackson came on the radio, and I was young, and I jumped out the car at the stoplight. I guess the spirit of I don't know what it was. Maybe it's just I was off, had too much candy that day. I don't know. But Michael Jackson came on the radio, and I jumped out the car. This is at the stoplight, and I start dancing, start doing some Michael moves, all that. And then my mom's like, "Boy, get back in this car, get back in this car," right? So I get back in the car. As we're driving, there's somebody behind honking. My mom thought that maybe the door was open or something. Again, she's a single mom at this point with a young boy. So she pulls over, and the lady comes up. She's like, "Hi, I'm a talent scout, and your son is a star."
Right.
Blah 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 blah. She's like, "Okay," and then the lady was like, "Listen, I will pay for him to come and be a part of my academy. Let's just have him come." So that's how it started, huh? That's kind of how it started. So that's where the dance started. That's where the singing started, and then I played piano.
I think a lot of times when we're trying to figure out how we can make the things that we love, how can we make them a career? How can we make this something that we can pay our bills with, eventually? How do you get to that point? Is it a mental thing? Is it a...
I think it's a combination of all of the above. I think it's just the alignment. It's the journey of life that brings you to that place. I'll say this for me, so at that point, that was when I started dancing. So I was dancing around DC, I was having fun dancing around DC, then I just stopped. And I was just like, I just want to be in high school, and I just want to chase the girls, and I just want to do this, and I want to be prom king. And I decided at that point I was just going to go into marketing, I was going to go into business. I'm a natural salesman, so I'm like, okay, cool, maybe I'll sell some used cars, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with my life. And fast forward to me being in corporate America for a little bit, it just wasn't it. I was that guy that was working at the desk typing in numbers, but I'm literally sitting on the desk with my legs up, like on the desk, doing like this, taking naps under the desk, and people are like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? This is, And I'm just like, fire me,
Please.
let me go. I need that unemployment,
right?
Because I hate this,
right?
Because honestly, I was living the life that I wanted to live at night by going to the open mics, being in the music scene in New York. But then I had to pay my bills. I had to be a self-sufficient man. I had a college degree. I had to do corporate America. Eventually, my soul was like, no.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It became so hard for me to wake up and get to work that I said I have to figure this out. So
that's such a relatable story. Like,
yeah.
I feel like that's all, like, you know, that's a story that I know very well.
Yeah.
Living it currently.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I get it.
And so
you gotta follow that. Well, let me tell you. So
yeah.
then that turned me into, because it's a progression of how we even got there. That turned me into saying, all right, let me just pick up a part-time job because I still have bills to pay. So I started teaching after-school dance in the Bronx. Randomly, and I was like, well, I used to dance, so let me go back to just kind of doing that. That's something I know. I know how to relate to our community,
right.
the youth of our community, and that's something special to me. So I started doing that, which then turned into 5 years of that, turned into me saying, let me go back and start training again to make sure I'm the best product, you know what I mean, the best teacher for them. Which then fast forward turned into a career. I got signed with an agent, you know, from a dance class and from a show, and then fast forward, the kids were like, Mr. J, you need to go off and you need to do this, and that's how.
So your kids pushed you. Your students were like, so listen.
My students actually pushed me. They did. No, and it was hard for me to let them go because, you know, I was working at a school that had a 23% graduation rate.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I love those kids, and I really just wanted to see them win, but the expectation for them was that they would not.
Right.
But I'm proud to say that of my 75 students, we had a 100% graduation rate.
That's another flex. I love it. We're on it's like 10 flexes and
come on,
chill
with the flexes.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, that's really great. Like, again, that story, that is so relatable. I think so many, you know, I think everybody of like all ages can relate to that. Like you're doing something because you think it's the linear path of what you're supposed to be doing, right? But you know that something inside of you is like, and so you started listening to that other thing.
And so I went from assistant choreographer, second assistant choreographer, to first assistant choreographer, to associate choreographer, to choreographer.
That's dope. So that's the thing, like that part I want to stop on. So like for those of, you know, any student that's listening who wants to be a dancer, who thinks that dancing, choreography, and like that world, like you just gave us like a whole little thing right there that I think a lot of people don't really know. So there's levels to this thing.
There's levels to this thing, and we're talking 11 years.
Right.
You know, for me at this point. And I'm gonna keep it real. In 2019, it seems to be far easier to utilize social media, and then you pop up and you're a choreographer.
Right.
You know, 10 years ago when one was trying to do that, that just wasn't an option. You had to go through the ranks of understanding, of getting behind the camera, of being behind a choreographer who was doing these major award shows, working in tandem with them, so that when your opportunity came, this wasn't new for you.
Right.
You know, so now what's happening, I'm noticing that a lot of people are being discovered on YouTube and discovered on social media, you know, which is great.
Right.
You know, but you know, I feel like sometimes people may be a little ill prepared.
Missing some foundation.
You're missing some foundation. You're missing you miss putting in that work, putting in those years, and I think that's super important. But who am I? I'm just another fellow creative. I am not here to judge anyone else or anyone else's journey. I'm just saying
it helps your journey.
That helped my journey.
It's that much better in your journey.
And for anyone that comes under me, that will be a must to their journey.
Right.
You know, so enjoy the process, respect the process, believe in the process. You know, the process will take you to where you need to be. So that was one of the main things I also took from that time period, was how important it was for me to sit back and be a student and learn the process before I went out there.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Tell us that piece of advice that like you still have, like everything you do, every job you have, that little piece, that what sticks with you the entire time that you still have, that reminds you like, yeah, this is why I do this.
That's great. Only because I can't think of any one person or, you know what I mean, one piece of advice, but something that through my process that I have learned is you really have to take the time to know yourself before getting into this business. If not, the business will define you. And the whole point of your gift is that it's yours. Is that you were beautifully, wonderfully, uniquely made to be who you are. And so that's what the industry, if this is the industry that you're being called to, that's what the industry is looking for. It's looking for you. It's not looking for a carbon copy of anyone else. But this industry will make you feel like you need to be like this one or this one or this one. Even, you know, you can go to labels and labels will say, yes, we want a performance like this. And I am the creative that says, okay, we're not gonna do a performance like that because that performance is done. And those people did that and it was their qualities that made that. But we can do a performance like this, which is ours. You know what I mean? So I think one of the most important things is to know yourself. Really, 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 really take some time to invest in yourself and knowing yourself.
In the darkest hours, spoke truth to power. Made a bad joy out of your girlfriend. Let's get caught downtown in the world.
Yeah.
Paint the city pink, paint the city pink. And tuck the girls against the world.